Once again, good afternoon. For those who have just entered the room, we will be starting by 2:10. That's around 5 minutes from now. So while waiting for others, I will just play this video.
Good day to everyone. So our topic is all about the fundamentals of traffic control, specifically to road and traffic signs. So in the fundamentals of traffic control, when we say traffic control, it refers to the procedures, devices, and communication systems that helps vehicles and vessels safely share the same roads, rails, waterways, or airspace. And also, it is a system of traffic engineering, employing prescribed traffic rules and regulation and devices such as signals and markings. So the traffic control establishes a set of rules and instruction that drivers, pilots, train engineers, and ship captains rely on to avoid collision and other hazards. So in smaller towns with lighter traffic, similar but simpler control devices and engineering techniques are used. So the primary emphasis of traffic control is on the safe and efficient flow of cars, buses, vans, and other lorries over urban streets and highways. So this means, or the means of promoting this can vary from simple improvement of local streets by installing traffic signs and road markings to constructing comprehensive motorway control systems. So what are these systems? So in the fundamentals of traffic control, these are the control techniques that includes these systems. First is access road meters. When we say access road meters, it is used to monitor and control motorway, the closed circuit television surveillance to detect quickly any deterioration in traffic flow, and the emergency services in case of accident and injury. And there are also other traffic control technique. This includes the use of one-way streets, the enforcement of traffic law regulations, channelization such as the building of traffic islands, turning lanes, and so on, and the use of traffic signals. So in the highway traffic control, motorists depends on traffic control devices to avoid collisions and travel safely to their.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, so yes, we'll have a discussion this Saturday. So if you still have time, kung okay lang sa inyo, we would be somewhat making it siguro in a day, ma-discuss nato ning part sa traffic control. Yan. And I think there are other things that you need to really be explained, especially sa mga topic sa module, pati po tong sa ebook. Okay? So, yun nga, yung video na na-play ko is about traffic control. Ayan. The definition is actually same as kung ano yung nasa ebook and yung ano ang nasa module. They're just the same. refers to procedures, devices, and communication systems na nag-help sa mga vehicles at lahat ng mga vessels in general na makagamit sila ng roads or railways or kahit anong daanan ng mga vehicles in a safe, efficient, and useful manner. And of course, sa traffic control, hindi kompleto yan kung walang mga rules and regulations na sinet for the safety, not just for the passengers but also of the operators, pati yung drivers at ng mga management personnel, those who control and manage the use of those systems. Ayan. So, ang focus natin is on land transportation. It does not only involves vehicles na yung mga sasakyan or motorsiklo but also involves those railroads, especially if may rail or railway na parte sa isang traffic system sa isang lugar. Okay? But before that, let me just go back to a previous topic which is yung right of way. Let me just share it for this time. Yan, madaliin ko lang to. Yan, right of way procedures. Yan. So marami tayong rules dyan, especially for those who don't know or have forgotten the rules on right of way based sa Land Transportation Code. Ayan. So, for example, ganyan. Again, pag hindi pa sila naka-enter sa intersection, paano natin malaman? If they haven't touched or passed the boundary markings, yung pavement markings dyan. Ayan. So, from that picture, or from that graphic, the driver shall yield the right of way to those who have entered or has passed the pavement marking sa intersection. Okay? Kagaya dyan sa figure 7.1. Ayan. Hindi pa sila nakapass or nakasulod sa intersection. So, magdedepende yan sa kung sino ang nasa primary road. Okay? Or yung main road, kumbaga. Kung si car 1 or si car 2 ba yan? Or si vehicle 1 or si vehicle 2. Again, always remember, upon entering the intersection, slow down. Ayan. Sasakyan ka man ng motorsiklo, slow down, okay? Hindi ibig sabihin na yellow, you need to really go fast. Again, yung yellow or yung amber na color sa traffic light, kung meron, pertains to being slowing down. Ayan. First general rule, as the figure 7.1, ayan, yung vehicle 2 should yield the right of way to vehicle 1 kasi presumably itong si vehicle 1 ay nasa much more primary na roadway. Yan. So si vehicle 2 yung unang titigil and give way to vehicle 1. Ayan. Bago siya magpapason. Ayan. What if yung roadway or yung intersection ay nasa mga business, residential, or yung mga places na matao? Ayan. Such as here. Yan. Somehow. Yan. So, still the same upon entering an intersection. Kung sino yung nakalagpas na at nakapasok sa intersection o yung imaginary box, siya yung magkakaroon ng right of way. At that instance, nakauna na si number 2. So, si vehicle 1 ang magkakaroon ng yielding or yung temporary stop to give way to vehicle 2. Ayan. Kasi nakauna na si vehicle number 2 na naka-enter ng intersection. Ayan. How about pedestrian crosswalks? Okay? The proper term for it is crosswalk or pedestrian crosswalk. Di na pedestrian lane. Kaya kung i-pertain mo ang lane, that's just one line. Ayan, or pedestrian line. Problema, ang design yan is multiple lines. So, it is a crosswalk. Ayan. So, paano pag may mga taong magko-cross through the crosswalk? Unya, walay traffic signal or walay traffic signalization. Okay? So, dyan sa figure 8, nakalagay dyan na when pedestrians are about to cross, ayan, always give the right of way to them. Ayan. Pero kung may traffic light at hindi sinabing pwede or does not allow the pedestrians to cross on the crosswalk, of course, the vehicle would have the right of way. Kung kamo pedestrian, nakastop pa sa inyo ha, naman ay signal ana, especially if there are traffic lights, ay magpasagag tabok. Because, again, ang gulong hindi yan nagpapatawad. Once it hits you, there's no turning back. Okay? So, pag may traffic light or even walang traffic signalization, always make sure that you would cross the street safely. And as much as possible, kung may crosswalk, doon kayo tatawid. Okay? Kanang pagkaapurado would have a bigger cost. It might cost a life. Okay? So, think of safety when approaching or using a crosswalk. Okay? Yan. Dito naman, yan, between an access road and a through highway or a throughway, yan, sa figure 9, yan, yung nakikita nyo, si vehicle number 2, yung nasa left side ng monitors ninyo, siya ang dapat mag-yield or magsa-stop and give the right of way to vehicle 1. The reason is, yung sinabi ko kanina, kung sino yung primary highway or yung may higher volume of vehicles na gumagamit, sila yung magkakaroon ng primary right of way. Yung mga nasa access road would have to wait or yield. And especially pag walang traffic signalization. Ayan. Pero meron tayong exceptions. Again, right of way rule does not apply in the case of the following. Ayan. According to Section 43 ng RA 4136 as amended. Ayan. Pag ang sasakyan galing sa isang private driveway or a much more narrow or smaller street and entering to a main highway or a main road, ang right of way is, kung nakikita ninyo, na kay vehicle number 2 because he is traversing the main highway compared to a private driveway. So kung gikan mo sa inyong mga subdivisions or mga villages or mga barangay or sa inyong mga balay kung naaba na sa mga kadalanan, always yield the right of way to those who are passing on the main road. Ayan. And of course, when trying to turn or enter the main road or main highway, always stop, look, and listen. Ayan. Okay? Do you understand, guys? Medyo mabilis ba yung pag-present?
Tama lang, sir.
Okay? Tama lang, okay lang tama natin. Ayan. Sige. So, I'll proceed. Yan, starting, stopping, and turning rules, ito. Na-mention ko to in a previous meeting. Yan, itong starting and stopping, pati turning rules, okay? So, before you would turn, sabihin natin, pa-approach kayo ng intersection, liliko kayo, always signal first. Yan ang silbi ng turn signals ninyo. Sakyanan ba na or motorsiklo, na anay turn signal. Kana. Even tractors have turn signals. And it must be used and turned before you approach a point where you would turn. Diba? In order to remind or warn the motorist na, oh, pawala ko or patoo. Kana. Okay? Pero what if biglang nasira yung turn signals ng vehicles ninyo? That is the time you will use hand signals. Sa mga motor riders or even sa mga bicycle riders, itong hand signal is very important. Yan. Kanang uban dira na part ng mga driver clubs, especially when you have those long drives, there will be riders sa inyong grupo who would be using this to signify somehow kung saan sila liliko or in group driving to signify anong formation na gagamitin ng buong riding group. Okay? Ayan. So when using a four-wheel vehicle, mga sasakyan, always the driver is on the left side. Ayan. So he will be using the left hand or he will be using the left hand or left arm. Okay? Kung muliko mo without a turn signal and you're going to the left, yan. Yan yung nakikita ninyo, yan yung gagawin nyo. Just put your arm outside. Significantly para makita naman ng mga nasa likod ninyo. Okay? Ayan. When turning the right, it is just like raising your hand. Kana kung magpanatang makabayan, it is pointing upwards, okay? When you turn to the right. Ayan, yan yung standard. When turning the left, ayan. Yung turning the left is yung kanina, okay? Yan yung sa turning the right. Ito na naman, when you put it down, or yung parang naka 90 degrees downward, that means you're going to stop. Okay? About to stop. Dili ng, the moment you stop, dira pa mo mag hand signal. Nako, daghang surprise ana, daghang dili makarecover. And if you are really into driving, especially kung motorsiklo or sasakyan, there is that gap between the moment na i-step nimo ang brakes and the moment na muhunong ang imuhang vehicle. That's a significant time. Okay? So, always think in advance. Okay? Next, making a right turn. Ayan. First step, again, signal your intention at least 100 feet. Ayan, yung ginagawa ko when I was driving or I'm driving, that would be around 200 to 300 meters before. Ayan. Kay, even if we are driving, we must always think of safety. Not just for ourselves, but also to other road users. Driver ba na, sakyanan ba na, or pedestrian. Para di po sila malibog. Kay, when driving kasi, hindi pwede na pa-surprise. Again, hindi nyo mansari yan everyday. So, hindi kinakailangan ng surprise. Okay? Always signal where you intended or where you intend to turn. Hindi yung magsisignal ka ng pa-right pero papunta ka ng left. Yan. Okay? Kagaya dyan. Na-mention ko niyan last time. Yan. Outer and inner lanes. Okay? 1 and 4 are outer lanes. 2 and 3 are inner lanes. Kung saan kayo nang galing na lane, when you turn to the right or to the left, stay on that lane when you're about to turn. Ayaw katinga na. Okay? Dili na Formula 1, okay? You do not really disrespect the right of way of others. Okay? And also to avoid accidents. Kasi kung magkaka-aksidente pa yan, delayed pa kayo, naka-apekto pa kayo sa iba. Okay. The same goes with making a left turn. Okay? Same lang yan sa pag-right turn. Direction lang ang nagbago. Ayan. Yung U-turns, na-discuss ko na yan last time. Itong i-discuss ko sunod is yan. Okay? That is rules in parking, especially when you are nearby those places that are significant or those specified places. Okay? So, let's go to this one by one. Ayan. Dito tayo sa pinakataas. Within 4 meters of a driveway entrance or 4 meters from any fire station, dapat walang nakaparking dyan. Yan yung tinatawag na fire lane. Okay? When you are about to cross or enter an area kung saan nandun yung fire station, yan. Or sabihin natin, police station, always park at least 4 meters away from their driveway. Kasi that is for the purpose of maneuvering ng kanilang mga fire trucks or ng mga emergency vehicles. Okay? Para naapod sila enough space to turn, the same time na sila'y freedom also to pass, especially when responding to emergencies. Ayan. Dito naman tayo sa left side, in front of a private driveway, makikita nyo sa mga gates, or most of the gates, don't block the driveway. Ayan. In order to give way sa pag-open ng mga gates, at the same time sa paglabas ng mga sasakyan. Especially when coming from a private driveway na gated. Okay? Of course, bawal ka mag-park sa intersection. Nobody has the right to do that. Ayan. Dito naman, within 4 meters of a fire hydrant or 4-meter radius. Ayan. Hindi pwedeng magparking ang kahit sino man. Because what if biglang nagkasunog at naubos yung water supply ng mga fire trucks? So they would really find the nearest fire hydrant for that free supply of water. Paano pag i-blockingan yan? Diba? Blockingan na ni mo. So you will be adding to the problem of the firefighting. Okay? Within 4 meters of a fire hydrant, no parking. Within 6 meters of the intersection, yan, sabihin natin, after the intersection, kagaya dito sa graphic na ito, 6 meters away from the stoplight, which is really nasa intersection talaga, hindi ka pwede magparking. Yung iba dyan, for example, sa Philippines, sinasadya ng gobyerno natin through the road engineering or traffic engineering na before the intersection mismo, dyan nila ilalagay yung pedestrian crosswalk in order for people not to really park in there. Okay? May traffic light man or wala. That is to let people cross the street. At the same time, walang makakaharang. Okay? Walay babag jud na dapat. Okay? Same goes with parking on a crosswalk that is prohibited. Titikitan talaga kayo niya ng enforcer. Ayan. The same goes on the roadway side of any vehicle stopped or parked at the curb or edge of the highway. Ibig sabihin yan, sa mga corners or kanang mga kurbada, bawal magparking. Because we could not remove the fact na may mga drivers na dadaan dyan carelessly. Unya, mawad-an og brake daw kunuhay. Diba? Unya, of course, when they would lose brake or mag-lock up yung brake system nila, they will have that uncontrollable movement. O kung na ay nakaparking sa kurbada, sureball na matatamaan. Okay, so bawal magparking sa kurbada or sa corners ng road or highway. And of course, one thing na prohibited dyan na you would encounter when you have that driver seminar, pero wala dito sa libro, is yung tinatawag na double parking. Ano yung double parking? For example, itong nakikita ninyong graphic, di ba may sasakyan na nakaparking dyan? Hindi pwede na may sasakyan na nakaparking parallel to his position. Or kanang really at the front, or I should say at the direct side ng vehicle na yan. For example, dito, kung saan yung mouse cursor ko. Okay? So, bawal dyan magparking. Double parking na. Ang problema man gud ana is what if na imuagi? So mahimong one way. 'Di ba? Kay guot naman ang dalan. Especially for those narrow roads. Okay? So bawal ang double parking. It is suggested na dito medyo sa unahan not really parallel to a previously parked vehicle. Ayan. Para at least man lang na enough space para maneuver yung mga vehicles. Okay? Ayan. So, questions before we proceed to traffic control? Are there any questions? Questions, guys? Wala talaga? Walang question? No
Sir,
questions? Wala na?
sir ako sir, mga tanong ko sir.
Yes.
Um, asa magbase gid sir sa yulo or sa ebook sir? Naglibog ko sir.
Pareho ra na. Mas may graphics lang ang ebook kasi yan talaga yung libro. Both of them are just fairly the same. Okay?
Sige sir, thank you sir.
Okay. Sige. Let's proceed to traffic control. Okay? Let me just share this tab. Okay, let me just share it. Ayan, traffic control. Ayan, kagaya ng mention kanina, traffic control refers to the procedures, devices, and communication systems na tumutulong sa mga vehicles at mga road users na pwede sila mag-share ng same na roadway safely. Not just them, but in general, pati na rin yung mga eroplano, mga boats, ships, and all other vehicles. Pati na rin yung mga rules and regulations para sa mga drivers, pilots, captains ng ships, pati yung mga members ng traffic or road engineering management teams in order to avoid hazards and travel safely and efficiently. Ayan. Okay? So, in land transportation, there are different control techniques, okay, that could be used to efficiently control traffic. Ayan. So, mayroon tayong 3 general control techniques. First is yung access. Ayan, access control, which kung saan, ang example niyan, or ang example is yung mga road sensors and road meters na constructed under the main roads to monitor the movement of vehicles on a motorway. Na-mention yan ni Sir Perez yung sa webinar. They have those traffic signalization sensors sa ilalim ng roads, especially when approaching an intersection. Para malaman nila, even during peak times or hindi, kung marami bang sasakyan ang naka-queue or kakaunti lang ang sasakyan sa portion ng roadway. Another control technique na commonly ginagamit na talaga ngayon ng maraming mga lugar, especially those bigger cities, are those closed circuit television systems or yung mga CCTVs. Okay? Pero ang unique na kagamitan ng CCTVs is that they could use it for traffic surveillance and enforcement. Sa traffic surveillance, pwede nila ma-monitor ang road without deploying personnel or kakaunti lang yung personnel na nasa field. Kasi kaya na nila ma-monitor ang dagan sa isa ka portion sa roadway or highway without having to be there. Nara sila sa ilang mga headquarters monitoring the situation on the field. Ginagamit rin ang CCTVs for what we call no contact apprehension procedures. Kung saan, minomonitor na lang nila ang mga violations ng mga iilang mga road users or ng mga vehicles while using the roadway without really having to contact them or walang interaction directly sa lisensya, directly sa registration ng vehicle. Doon nila ipapataw. So after, sabihin natin, after a year, hindi pala alam nung driver na pag-renew niya ng kanyang sasakyan, daghan na diag violations gapondo na related sa sasakyan na yan. 'Di ba? Bigla na lang siya magugulat, uy, additional fine and penalty. 'Di ba? So that is another advantage for them. And of course, another control technique na unique. Yan. Aside from the use of traffic signals and traffic signs is yung mga paggamit ng enforcers also. Kasi ang mga enforcers, they also have their own communication systems. They could really control the traffic. Sabihin natin kung pumalya ang traffic signal or merong special event that involves proper management of a road system. Okay? So, the first traffic control system na makikita natin sa mga roads at yung pinaka-common and somehow pinaka-cost efficient are the use of traffic signs. Ayan. So, I would share you a tab on the different categories and classification of traffic signs. Okay? Ayan. So, ayan. I think you can see it already. Ayan. Ito yung file. I've gotten this from LTO. Ayan. Road and traffic signs. Ayan. Meron tayong unang klase or the first kind of traffic signs, which lahat naman sila, ang purpose nila is to inform road users, to control movement of traffic, and at the same time, to safeguard traffic. Ayan. To let them know na, oh, may alternative roads or dito papunta sa Davao or papuntang Tagum or dire dapat mo position ang mga vehicles if they want to go left or go right. Yan. So traffic signs are standard as per Presidential Decree number 207. Naaayon yan sa International Convention sa Vienna, Austria on standardization ng traffic signs, traffic signals, at the same time, pavement markings. Okay? Ayan. So, yung nakikita ninyo is the first classification of traffic signs. Ayan. Yung mga tinatawag na regulatory road signs or traffic signs. Ayan. So, there are examples. For example, yung mga priority signs, yung commonly nakikita nyo kasi sila yung nagbibigay ng importance sa pag-inform sa road users on what to do. For example, a stop sign. Ayan. Or no parking. Give way. Yan, di ba may iba't ibang shapes. Yan, may equilateral na octagon. Meron silang equilateral triangle. Ayan. And yung rectangular na signs. Ayan. Another classification of regulatory signs are those directional signs that indicates direction and placement of vehicles kung saan nila gustong pumunta and what they must do when using that portion of the road. Ayan. So, meron tayong examples dyan. Like for example, one way, keep right, merging traffic. When I say merging traffic, two roads would bifurcate or mag-connect at one point and then ang continuation is na sila sa isa ka roadway. Okay? Pati yan. Okay? Commonly, it's on English. Pwede rin sa Tagalog yan. Yan yung flexibility ng mga road signs dito sa atin. Okay? Also part of the regulatory traffic signs are those prohibitive or restrictive traffic signs which prohibits or restricts movement of vehicles. For example, yung mga no entry. Okay? Usahay nasa gate sa eskwelahan, usahay nasa dalan. Okay? Commonly, circular or rectangular yan sila and you would see black and red pati white color. Okay? Commonly, white background man jud na, such as what you are seeing right now. 'di ba? Na ay circular sign na ay diagonal line or line. Yan, which prohibits the entry of vehicles or road users. Okay? Also part of the regulatory traffic signs, yung mga prohibitive restrictive signs, which are commonly directed to pedestrian road users. Ayan. Commonly sa mga countries, specifically outside sa United States, signages lang talaga. Walang words masyado. Ayan. To indicate, ayan, bawal tumawid. Pero kung gusto talaga literalin ng gobyerno ang pag-inform sa mga tao, kasi commonly yung lugar na yan, for example, is maraming tumatawid kahit hindi naman pwede. So, gagawin ng mga traffic engineers or traffic managers is literally, they would write a worded signage. Bawal tumawid gamitin ng overpass. Okay? Yan. Uy, sir, nalagi pedsing. Unsa na? Chinese na tanan, sir? No. Ngano de, kung sing di ay na Chinese di ay? Well, it's not. Because it means use pedestrian crossing. Yan, di ba? Cross, di ba? X. Hindi yan Chinese. Sa US, sa UK, halos buong mundo may ganyang signage. Pedsing. Yan, which means incoming pedestrian crossing. Slow down. Yan. Pati na din tong iba pang prohibitive na or prohibitive signs which informs road users that they must not go to that direction. Yan, bawal mag-U-turn pero nag-U-turn, 'di ba? Anong tawag niyan? Traffic violation. Yan. Another classification under regulatory traffic signs are those signs which informs us and restricts us to a certain level, such as speed limit signs. Yan. May nagsasabi on the side of the road, mga numbers yan commonly, round ang unsaan na ang shape sa traffic sign. Yan, 60, 100. It means yan yung maximum speed allowed. Yan. Sa ibang countries at sa ibang lugar, meron din silang tinatawag na minimum speed signs. Kung saan ito yung minimum speed mo at maximum speed na dapat i-maintain. And of course, there are those end of speed restriction signs. Okay? Yan yung sinabi ko, minimum speed restriction. Okay? Ayan. Another classification is itong regulatory na signs, especially sa mga roads na nasa mga places na maraming tao or maraming buildings. Yan, bawal magparking pero nagparking. 'Di ba? Unless kung emergency, which is an exception, pwede. Pero pag walang emergency, no parking. Regardless of who you are. Ayan. So, commonly, they are either itong mga vertically rectangular shape na signs or circular signs. Ayan. Nakikita ito, do not block the intersection, pero dira nagparking. Diba? Some others, as you would see there, commonly for loading or no loading and unloading signs, yan yung shape. Pati yung mga bus stops and taxi stops. Okay. Yan, medyo marami-rami pa to. Another example there, regulatory stopping signs or parking signs. Yan, loading and unloading zone. Commonly pag color green, it means pwede. Pero may limit. Pag pula naman, yan ay pinagbabawal. Okay? Diba? For example, no parking on fire hydrant within 4 meters. Pero gi-blockingan dyan ang fire hydrant. Diba? That's still a violation. No loading and unloading. Pero dira nagbabaog mga pasahero. Diba? Common mistake. Others, such as miscellaneous signs, still under regulatory signs, ayan, it denotes that road users would be informed na, oh, may sign, it means when approaching that roadway, merong certain limits. Siguro sa measurement ng vehicle or sa weight ng vehicle. Yan. So for example, itong 5T, unsa na, 5 katagay? No. It means maximum of 5 tons lang na total weight ng isang vehicle ang pwedeng mag-enter or would approach that roadway. Commonly, ito ay nakikita before bridges or flyovers. Yan. And also to inform road users na kung sobra ka bugat mo ang vehicle niya mo lapas ka na, it might somehow damage the bridge or the flyover. Ayan. Okay? And commonly na nakikita, especially when entering school zones, itong no blowing of horns. Ayan. So, it is used in order to respect naman rin sa mga ongoing classes or even without classes. Nakikita rin yan sa mga churches or approaching churches. Bawal maging horny daw. Okay? So, no blowing of horns. And other miscellaneous signs with a yellow background and black lettering to aware or inform people na, oops, may pedestrian crosswalk way ahead. Ayan. Or to inform pedestrian users na, oh, kung may person with disability, as per Batas Pambansa bilang 344, bigyan nyo sila ng right of way. Or may bike lane ahead. Yan. Next classification is yung mga warning signs, which are really meant to catch attention to the road user. Really, to warn them of potential hazards. When I say hazards, it means pwedeng maging danger sa kanila. Okay? There's a possibility of danger if they disregard that warning signs. Okay? So, under the warning signs, we have first the horizontal signs. Ayan, horizontal, which means, ayan, commonly equilateral triangle with red border, indicates the condition of the road way ahead. Diba? For example, itong sharp turn, yan, or hairpin turn kung sa racing pa. It means na nilagayan siya in advance, yung traffic sign na yan, to inform road users na, oh, ingana ang angle or direction sa road a few meters ahead. Ayan. Or reverse turn or double bend. Ayan. To inform road users, uy, naingana na klaseng dalan, slow down, 'di ba? Di man mo mga racers, 'di ba? So, slow down. Next, aside from those horizontal warning signs, yan, meron diyang iba pang examples, is the intersection signs, which, of course, from the word itself, you would see them near an intersection. Regardless kung intersection is a standard intersection or a roundabout or rotunda, meron yan. Ayan. To inform them of the oncoming formation ng road way ahead. Ayan. For example, roundabout ahead. So makikita nyo, obviously, may rotunda a few meters ahead. Ayan. Pati ang different kinds of intersections or junctions. Ayan. To inform road users, okay, you need to slow down kasi may paparating na junction or intersection. Okay? Ayan. Next, sa warning signs is yung mga advanced warning or traffic control device signs, which would inform road users, oops, may traffic light ahead. Yan yung common, okay? Makikita mo lang yung tatlong circular colors, okay? That's around siguro mga 50 to 100 meters before the intersection or before the traffic light. Yan. Or may stop sign ahead. Yan. Which, when you proceed ahead, uy, meron talagang stop sign. Yan. Hindi magsisinungaling yung mga road signs. It's for your safety. Kaya nandyan yan sila. Yan. Giveaway sign. Pero yung iba, hindi nag-giveaway. Okay? Next, under warning signs, itong road with signs, which indicates and informs road users na, oops, ang dalan, magnarrow or mugamay ang measurement or ang bridge. Gikan sa very wide lane ng road, mahimong narrow kay tungod ang bridge, two-lane bridge. So, mugamay ang dalan. So, you need to slow down. Kasi yan yung ma-expect mong itsura a few meters ahead. Ayan. Road obstacle signs, ayan, would warn you of an impending danger that is oncoming and is currently a possibility sa road. For example, na ay sign na uneven road ahead. So you would expect na hindi siya smooth ride. Na-adjoy mga bumps. Ayan. Downhill sign would inform you, oops, downhill. Kailangan slow down. Uphill sign, kung ikaw ay nagda-drive ng sasakyan, it will inform you na, oops, you need to downshift. Yan. Downshift or you need to lower the gear, especially kung masyadong uphill. Ayan. Other common signs that you will see are those landslide prone area, animal crossing ahead, or yung low flying plane zone, especially pag malapit sa mga airports, yung mga highways. Ayan. Okay? Next, ito, pedestrian sign. Sinabi ko niyan kanina, part ng warning signs to warn people na, oops, may tawiran ahead. Like for example, slow down, pedsing ahead. Dili na tungod Chinese na ang mga taga-United Nations, itong Vienna Convention. No. Just to remind people easily, and of course, to conserve ink siguro and space, pedestrian crossing ahead. Makikita din natin yan sa ibang bansa. Okay? Yan. Bike lane, which ngayon is nauuso na rin kasi maraming nagbabike. Problema, may iba pa ring drivers na ginadisregard ang maong warning sign. Okay? Ito naman is for railway specified warning signs, which you would commonly see near a railway. For example, railroad crossing sign. Literally on a cross. Ayan. To inform road users na, oops, may paparating na portion ng railway. Either you slow down or you stop kung may paparating. Actually, nanay pares, which is yung stop, look, and listen na sign. Okay? And it could also have that form. Yan, yung nakikita ninyo. Alternative railway crossing sign, commonly pula ang background para makita jud sa mga road users. Kaya sa color blind ang uban or ang uban jud gina-disregard. So just to really catch attention sa road users na slow down. May advance warning of a railroad. Okay? And the others are supplementary warning signs to inform users of what are the allowed vehicles or kung saan dapat dumaan yung mga road users. Ayan. For example, oops, may paparating na playground. So, hindi pwedeng mag-accelerate. Okay? Slow down talaga. Or merong roadworks ahead. Ginaayo ang dalan or portion sa dalan. Yan, ginagamit niya nila as a supplementary early warning device. Other warning signs, you would commonly see them when approaching flyovers or those portions ng mga buildings or structures na merong kanang low ceiling, which is commonly called yung vertical clearance ceiling, such as sa flyovers or sa mga footbridges. Makita nimo gikan sa road or sa dalan mismo padulong sa mismong base sa flyover. Ayan, sabihin natin 5.20 meters ang clearance niyan. So yung mga vehicles na lagpas 5.20 meters, hindi sila makakadaan. Ayan. And the others are included naman sa informative signs. Yan. Directional signs which would inform you, oops, diyan papunta ang isang portion or isang lugar. Yeah. For example, padulong ang Bataan, Davao, or any other place, or any other landmark. Diba? Kung taga Davao mo, kanang sa may kanto sa Sabungan, sa Matina, sa Shrine, you would see there a somewhat brown warning sign na, oops, pasakag Jack's Ridge. Diba? Or pasaka sa Shrine. Ayan. Okay? Another example of informative road signs are those intersection direction signs, which again, similar lang din sa above mentioned na mga guide or informative signs, pero ito sila are located much more nearer to the specified guide nila. For example, Manila is somehow less than a kilometer away or a few kilometers away na. Diba? Or yung makikita nyo, especially if you're from, sabihin natin, gikan mo Marilog, padulong mo Kalinan, you will see there kanang signage sa Gaisano Center ba na or sa Gaisano Grand Kalinan. Even sa Marilog pa lang daan, makita nimo, 24 kilometers away bago mag Gaisano Kalinan. Diba? Informative signs to inform them na, oops, 24 kilometers or 10 kilometers na lang bago ang mall. Ayan. And then reassurance direction signs which informs you of the exact distance ng mga nearby towns, cities, or places. Yan. For example, kung gikan mo og airport and you would approach the intersection or katong underpass sa Buhangin, na may makit-an kung pila ka kilometers ang Bangkal, pila ka kilometers ang Digos, or even pila ka kilometers ang Jensan. Ayan. To reassure you na, oops, ito yung destination natin, ganyan kalayo or ganyan kalapit na lang. Okay, and those others, for example, street name signs, makikita nyo yan. It's very important para malaman nyo kung asan talagang direction or saan talaga kayo located. Diba? And yung iba na yan are auxiliary signs which informs road users of different landmarks or places around the area. Okay? Oh, ngayon pa lang pumasok. Okay? So, if you could see on your ebook, ayan. If you could see on your ebook, merong mga specified dimensions, yan, which would somehow be a standard based on PD 207. Okay? Sa mga di kabalon sa ng PD 207, I will show it. Yan, June 6, 1973. Signatory ang Pilipinas sa UN Vienna Convention on the Standardization ng Road Traffic Signs, Markings, Signals. Yan. Okay? So, I hope you have understood things. Yan. Na-discuss na nako na. Danger warning signs, regulatory and informative signs. Ayan. May example sa ebook. And then, yung mga different sub-classifications nila. That is part of traffic signs. Let me just go further down. before ta mag-end. Yan, sila ang nagparami. Okay? Ito. Ayan. Especially sa mga places na nasa mga national highways. Ayan. You would see AH26. Unsa nang AH26 daw? Ana. Unsa nang pasabot ana? That is a standard for Asian countries. It denotes the Asian Highway Route Marker. Sa Pilipinas, we are part ng Group 10.1 or Asian Highway 26 system, which is buong Pilipinas. Okay? Luzon man kana, Visayas or Mindanao, you will see that on national highways. AH26 marker. Okay? Yan ay ang ibig sabihin na kino-consider ng United Nations Economic and Social Commission of Asia and the Pacific na yung portion na highway na yan ay parte ng National Highway System or yung tinatawag na Daang Maharlika. Okay? That is from Lawag, Manila, Legazpi to Matnog in Albay. And then, makonect na siya through ferry gikan sa Allen, I think it is in Samar, padulong sa Tacloban, and then Ormoc, and then areas in Central Visayas. Then, from Surigao to Davao, Surigao to Cagayan de Oro, and then Jensan to Zamboanga na ruta. Okay? Kung taga Davao City mo, apil dira ang Buda or kanang Bukidnon Davao Highway at ang buong MacArthur Highway including kanang Philippine-Japan Friendship Highway or kanang Diversion Road. That's part of Asian Highway 26. Okay? Makikita yan. Yan. For example, kanang Buhangin Milan, that's part of AH26 classification. Okay? And let's go further down before we end. Yan, I think I have discussed that. Itong mga traffic markers, makitaan man na ninyo especially sa corners or kanang mga tight corners sa mga highways. Still part of a UN classification which denotes a chevron. Okay? Kanang directional arrow, you call that a chevron. Na nag-denote na, oops, ito ang direction or yung direction ng liko ng road. Okay? It's horizontally aligned. Marami yan siyang nilalagay. Depende sa tightness or wideness ng curve on the highway. Okay? And, yan, napakaraming mga road signs. Ayan. Okay? So, itong traffic signal lights, I failed to discuss that today, but I hope if you will just read it, hopefully, yan, traffic signal lights, from the top, it's red. From below, it's green. Okay? Reminders lang. Basin ay uban sa inyo, balihon na pod na. Okay? So, are there any questions before we end the discussion? Are there any questions, guys? So that we could end? Questions, guys? Questions? Are there any questions before we end this session?
Wala siguro, sir.
Okay, so thank you. Your exam will be on Monday, and I will open the passing of permits by then so that makatake mo og exam. Again, no permit, no exam. If naamoy emergency, make sure na it is really exceptional, okay? Kay mag-stricto ko ana actually. Kanang excuses ninyo na dili part sa handbook or dili part sa amo ang regulations, I would not really have you a special exam. Okay? So, yun lang reminders ko. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening, hopefully. And good luck on your exam this Monday. Thank you and have a great day ahead. God bless and stay safe. You can now leave this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.